Okay, sounds good.
All right, we're recording. Ready to go.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody who were able to jump on right now. For those who couldn't, this is being recorded, so you'll be able to watch and listen to this afterwards. It should be recording the video itself of the screen and also the audio. If you have any questions, you can use the chat box in your control panel to ask them, and I can see them and John can see them, so we can hopefully answer them as we're going. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in because everybody's time is precious. As you see, I'm on the home page, the bullheadareachamber.com. The login area for members is a really simple, easy tab right to the very left. And you can see as I hover over it, it goes blue-gray. Once you click that, it brings you onto this screen right here. And now this screen is the actual login page. Everybody who has a chamber membership has a username and a password. If for some reason you don't know what it is, which we've found that a lot of people actually don't know what their username or password is, you can use the forget username or password button. It'll trigger to put in like your email address. Or you can also just reach out to the chamber and we can actually reset the username and password for you. Okay, and there's a cool button over on the right you'll see right above the Facebook widget. It says Member Login Support. If you click that, it'll open up a new page, a page that we created last year to kind of help people learn more about the features, kind of exactly what we're going over right now. And you'll literally see a spot that gives you the forgot your password field, and then you'll also see kind of written directions with little screenshots of how to do all the things that we're going to go over today. So this whole thing is a walkthrough of how to look at your dashboard and understand what your dashboard is, the hot deals, which we're going to go over today, and then a couple other things that we're not going to go over today, such as member-to-member deals. We are going to go over adding events, so that's something we're going to do today. And then something we're not going to go over today, but it is here again in that the how-to section, adding jobs, so job listings. Okay. So, yeah, go ahead.
And that's something that those other ones that we're not covering today, that's something that, maybe next month we'll cover those other couple of things as well.
Yeah, and that's a great idea. This segment today we're going to do is we're going to just be learning how to log into your dashboard, how to create hot deals, and learning how to create events. And the other items like adding jobs and member-to-member deals, we'll probably do another one next month, and that way we'll have really the whole series of things that you want to be able to do. And then you'll notice on the right it says login help, dashboard, hot deals, member-to-member. Those are just little easy navigation tools, and also how to call and contact the chamber if you need help. So, so back to the login field. So again, all you do when you land on the home page of the website is on the left, you can just click on Member Login. It brings you to this page that we're looking at. If you don't know your login, again, just reach out to the chamber. We'll reset it or use that link. Once you went ahead and logged in, your very first page will be your dashboard. Okay, and this is all your tools that are available in the back end of Chamber Master. So the first thing you'll notice is a welcome message that kind of gives you little tips and tricks, and you can click on these little links and it will tell you how to do these certain things. You'll see on the very right the most recent upcoming event. Now the next section where it says member profile, that's a really important part because that tells you whether you've completed all the information that you need to set up your business on the back end, things like having your phone number listed, having your email address listed, having your website listed. So this will give you a percentage of completion. So make sure that if it's not at 100%, that you click on the update and you just go through every field that it's requesting and fill it all out because that just helps create content for your business. All right, so without getting into too much detail of everything else that's on here, you will notice right underneath this part of the dashboard, you can see activity that's been happening. So you see somebody created or changed information on their page. Somebody is talking about an event, and so you get a little calendar icon. This is like a little feed of activity that's happening with other chamber members that are public, so you can see what's going on. You can actually go on to that post and even make comments on it. So the first thing we'll do is the hot deals, because that's a big topic. I'm just going to go back to the home page really quick, just so you can see at the very top there's that button that says hot deals. So I'm just going to click on it so you can see what ones are currently on there. So it looks like only two. We have a bath bomb deal from great homemade bath bombs from Savon Bath Treats, and then a website deal. And then you'll notice that the way that those are configured, I have a title, I have where it is, a little bit of information about it, category, I have a picture, which is really important, and then I have this cool big greenish box that's really highlighting what the deal is. So we're going to go over those when we create it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead in my dashboard. I'm logged in. I'm ready to go. I'm going to hit Hot Deals button, and that's going to bring me into all of the current hot deals in the area. So if there was other hot deals from somebody else, I would see those here, not just my own. I would see all the different ones, and then I would see which categories those deals fit in. So if I was looking for a painter, and there would be a category at the top saying maybe painting or professional services, and I would click that, and I could see those deals in that category. So I can manage my existing ones, or I can add new, but seeing that there's only my two, I know that there's nobody's created one, so we're going to start just from scratch with an add hot deal. So I click the button, and then here is the full creation part. It's really very simple. All the fields are labeled. So if I wanted to make a deal, let's say we'll do 10%, off. I'm having to do this with one hand, so it's kind of weird. So hold on a second. Off social media management. Tagline is save 10% today. The category would be my category for my business, so web design. I put in the description here, which would be, let me just grab something here. See if I have a quick way to do this without having to type in best deals. Just make something up here. Short description is also important, so always do a full long description and do a short description. It just adds more information to your listing. Don't, shortchange yourself by not putting anything right there. But let me just put, okay, so I'm just going to go bam, save 10% on our plans today. Choose from 3 options to meet your budget needs. Okay, next one, it says, and you can see that little asterisk right there, which is cool. It says that the description displayed in search results. So this is what's going to show up in that first search page when they're trying to find it. The long description will be once they click it. Okay, so then your offer start and end date. So today till, let's just say, the end of the month here. And you can do that as long as you want. Just remember, though, if you have hot deals that you've created, remember the dates that you've put them. I've actually done that myself, where I had one expire and I forgot to create a new one, so then I didn't have a hot deal going for a certain period of time. Then you want to add an image. It says maximum image size, 75 by 75. So that's kind of important, and that's one of the things that kind of stops people from posting a picture, is because they don't know how to resize images. So that's something that if you don't know how to do, just maybe shoot us an email or something, and we can try to help assist in resizing images or give you the tools to do that. I'm not sure if I have an image that I could just grab here. I'll try. Let's see. These are all huge. Let's grab a really small picture here. So I just grabbed a quick image that's actually a little bit smaller than that, just to put in here for example purposes. It's going to automatically put in the email address I have attached to my business. This is not right. Always double check the information that is populating. So see how it automatically tried to put in HTTP in the precursor of the website address, when my actual address is HTTPS. So I double check that, make sure that's working right. The phone number is correct. You can click verify URL. It basically tries to load the web page that you put in there just to make sure that it is right. Activity active date. So this is when you publish it, and then when it ends. So I obviously want this to go to the end of the month. And enter dates you want your hot deal to run. End date is inclusive. Dates must be chosen at this point. Active dates cannot be changed once the hot deal has been submitted. So make sure that you check that field. Make sure it's the correct date that it's going as long as your offer is going. You can obviously run an offer. Let's say that you want this coupon to be valid through the whole year, but you don't want the ad to run for the whole year. You just want the ad to go for a certain period of time. That's when you would change these dates. So this would have, go till the end of the year, let's say, but yet it would only be displaying as an ad for the rest of the month. So that's a great way to kind of measure your ROI on ad placement to see if someone comes in with a coupon that I ran in July, then I know that it was that particular ad offer that I was pushing out. So then all you do is you hit submit for approval. Really, really simple. It then goes to John or people at the office for approval. And then when you click on your Manage Hot Deals button, you'll see this, and this is giving it approval or pending approval. You can click back on your Hot Deals button, and you'll see that only 2 are currently on there. And then once they approve it, it'll be listed right on the website. So again, image, title, short description, long description. The category will already be in there. If you have issues with your category, just let us know. We're limited to, I think, maybe 1 or 2 categories for regular membership, but that is one of those enhanced listing options that we talk about where you pay a little extra in your membership, but you get more features. One of the features is you can be in multiple categories, not just one, I believe. So any questions on hot deals? Doesn't sound that way. Okay. All right. Well, we will continue then to the. We will continue on to event listings. So really simple. Right at the top of your dashboard here. How far can you submit a hot deal? You can do it. I don't think there's a restriction. You can post it out, so it's good for the next 2 years. Your publish date, though, like how long it stays on the site, I think it's only during the calendar year. So I think that it only goes through the rest of this particular year. So that's a good question. I think that I tried doing that one time. I think I tried to make a deal so I didn't have to remember of resetting it every year, and it limited to the end of the year. So I'll even put that till end of year, so let's end that in case people can't hear me. So if I want to run one in January, I could submit it now. You should be able to. January 2018, let's try it. I'm just going to put test, and we'll come down here to short description, hello, offer date, let's say it's January 2018. That would be really cool if you could post it out that far. Okay, get rid of this. Oh, it looks like it just deleted my field there. So let's see. So maybe we can't. Last date the offer is valid. Why isn't it letting me? There we go. Okay. And then the publish date. So let's see if we can run the publish date. Let's say we want it to go on January 18 1st. And then it would be valid till July, let's say 1st. Submit for approval. Category, of course, Steve. Description doesn't really matter, it's not required. Submit for approval. It looks like it lets you submit it. So, I think you can do it. You can probably do it for out to 12 months out, is my guess. So, good question. We can test that too. If you ever encounter issues, we can always mess with it. All right. So, we will move towards events. So, on your dashboard, you have your top buttons there. We just will click events. And while in here, you'll see all the events listed. Okay, so now let's say you're not in the back end of the site, though. You're on the front end of the site, and you click on Calendar. You'll notice that you have all the calendar of events, and you also have a button that says Submit New Event. So if you click on that link on the regular calendar page, this is where it's technically a public submission. So when you read that, anybody out there can submit something. Doesn't mean that it'll be posted, but it means that anybody can fill that out. So let's say you have employees, that you don't want them to have access to the actual dashboard for the company. You can give them access to this page by just telling them to go to the calendar and hit Submit Event, and they can fill out all this information from there. So you can either do it from the front end, or you can be logged in and you can manage your current events or add new events on the back end. So it's the same exact process for both. Each of the ways gives you the exact same fields that you can enter information into. So, and slowly loading here. Come on. We'll look at this while it's loading. So you'll put in your event title, your start date, the time, unless it's an all-day event, your end date and time. You'll put in description, and more language on here is better. So as much information as you can put about the event. The location, you can put their address and the name of the venue. If there's a certain date and time that you also want listed other than just this right up here, let's say an example would be, let's say you had like a music fest and it was an all-day event, but you wanted to put certain bands that start at certain times, you could put that right there. Whether there's a cost of admission, any contact information, names, phone numbers, and email address, just remember that this info will most likely be public once it's published. So I'm almost positive that's fully public information once it's listed. Again, an email address, website address, make sure that's accurate. If you don't have a web page, I don't know why that's not loading, but if you don't have a web, there we go. If you don't have a web page, you can always use your like a Facebook event URL. So a lot of small businesses, almost half, don't have websites for whatever reason. And so at least they can utilize things like Facebook events, which again, of course, get it out there. And then they have a web address. It's literally when you're looking at the event, you just copy the URL bar at the top and paste that in there. You want to select the categories. You can select multiple ones for the event. So you can have like a couple different ones. Always try to attach an image, and again, you have a maximum size for the main event photo. Just look that it's like a square, so you can really use any square size as long as it doesn't exceed the 500 pixels wide. You could even just use that same image and shrink it for a search result image, and that'll just make it smaller. And then if you wanted to put in gallery imagery, you could. You can add in a bunch of pictures. So if there's multiple bands, if it's a music festival, or if it's a product selling thing like a farmer's market, you could put in maybe logos to the attendees to the market. You can then, of course, use the Google Maps where you can put in the address of the event, and it will show the map. And then if there's a video, you can put that in as well. Now, if you're on the public view, you don't get so much detail. So you can see you can add in a bunch of these gallery pictures and videos and things. So when you're in the front end, you really are just limited to pretty much the basic info, and then you can hit submit. So the benefit, of course, is when you're logged in, you get more detail to it, but also you can manage your event. So once you've created an event, if you need to adjust something, maybe the time has changed, or you want to add a new picture, you can. Are those categories something like keywords if people were searching for a certain type of event? Yeah, exactly. And also, like, if you go into the events, I think you can, let's say I want to look at my masterclass next Wednesday. Everybody better come to it. You can, I think, click on the category in here. Oh, I don't see that it's there. I thought that there was a category where you could click it. and then it shows all of the categories. But apparently it doesn't do that, but it does definitely help with keywords, just like any type of SEO thing. Let me see if I have a way I can search. Oh yeah, here you go. So you do have a way where if I only want to see certain types of events, I can click it, and it will filter it. So that's just on your event search. So that is definitely a good thing. Be careful of how you categorize your event. Okay, so now that you've created an event, you can then always go in and manage it when you've created it in the back end. Now, if you've created it like a public submission from the front, you don't have a way to do anything other than emailing and contacting the chamber and saying, hey, something changed. So if you do it on the back end, you always will have a way to change it on the back end. Where the heck is my? So like here's like an old event. You can literally just go into the old event and change it if it's still upcoming. You can make all the changes that you need to on the back end. So that's pretty simple. So you can also search by keyword. Yeah, so on the front here, you can enter in a keyword. Let's say I do
not
social.
too much. Just listen to some video conference call. Boring.
Oh, boring?
Not really, but no, what's going on?
This is extremely exciting. What are you talking about? So yeah, so I was able to search by keyword.
You probably have an old phone number.
Uh-oh, someone is
I'm gonna put you
Patty.
On speaker so I can look it up here. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this. Okay. Gotta figure out how to do it though.
Yeah. Patty's multitasking everything. So that is the event calendar. So hopefully that helps quite a bit of those two really key parts to our website. I think that's one of the reasons why we focused on doing these, is because they're the two most trafficked spots on the website. People are always going to the calendar and they're always hitting on the hot deals.
Well, she's at tumble class right now, so she's in her little tumble gymnastics class.
I don't know if someone wants to call Patty. John, do you have her number? And you can just give her.
I think it's another free class she goes to, so it's only. I don't know what the hell she wears. I don't know what she wears.
I know. There we go. She hung up. Okay, she was caller 4, I think, on there. All right, cool. So here we are on looking at the event, and you see, of course, a picture. You see all the information. You got a link to the event. You got the times, the dates, the map. You can even encourage people to set reminders to themselves. If they're wanting to go to an event, they can use this reminder field, and it'll email them a reminder. They can also add it to their calendar, and that gives them what's called a .ics file. So if people use like Outlook on their computer, it'll trigger the computer's Outlook to recognize that you're trying to add in a calendar event into your calendar, and it'll allow them to do that. You can also share it by phone. You can send it to your phone by just clicking that. I believe it just triggers a phone number, and then you can also change that to an email. You can, so these are like little cool features that if you wanted to start really utilizing the calendar and actually, talking to people about, hey, check out our calendar. We have a lot of events going on. Here, let me show you how to make sure that this gets into your calendar, so you're reminded about it. You can utilize a lot of those features. So, and then when you click on events, then of course you have your whole list of events that everybody else has published. So, so yeah, so that's events. Any questions on events?
Yeah, the other thing I'd like to add, Steve, is when those go in, if you don't see it, that day or the next day, you don't see it listed, please give us a call so we see that we haven't been moving it.
Yeah, exactly. We have basically a back end, of the website for approvals. So if you don't see that event showing up within a day or so, you can always send an email, to John or Chelsea or somebody at the office just saying, hey, I posted an event, can you make sure it gets listed? They have to approve each one, of course, by hand to make sure that, we're not getting some crazy, ad, events getting posted in there. So that's a good point. So yeah, so that is that. And then I guess we'll set up another time to go over more stuff. But in the meantime, since you're in here, you might as well play around with some of this stuff. Go to news is a really cool feature that just gives you kind of a full rundown of community events, things that are happening. News releases over on the left side. You can create news releases on your own right here. And again, this is another, for people who are trying to boost traffic to their website, this is just adding more keywords, more links to your site, more information about your business. This is just a great opportunity just to add news releases in. When you're doing an event, do a press release right there. And then social feed is kind of a funny thing. You can literally, it's like a little mini, social media account almost. You can literally create, I don't know where it went unless they got rid of it. It just was there and now it disappeared. Usually you can just add in your own little posts right there, but maybe they must have moved that, I guess, because it probably wasn't being used, to be honest, because everybody uses Facebook now. But there used to be a way you could add into this feed manual posts about things, but it doesn't look like that's there anymore. So cool. All right. Well, anybody else got any questions or anything about learning how to use this? So I'm expecting there to be like at least, how many attendees do we have? 5 or 6 hot deals tomorrow.
Right.
And events and things. So yeah, so make sure that you utilize this. Again, it's just another opportunity to add content to our site. It's an opportunity to get more eyes on what you're selling and what you're doing and your products and services. So it's definitely just another opportunity.
Yeah, you don't want a hospice hot deal, for sure.
Yeah, you don't want me to be the only hot deal person. I'll do another couple and then I'll take up this whole page. So cool. All right.
Hospital, we got suddenly. Do you have a hot deal on a house?
Yeah, any hot deals on houses? That's good. That's a good one. I mean, that's what I'd be posting. I'd be putting up all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well,
then we'll set up another one for the other parts that we haven't covered yet. We'll set up another one.
Yeah.
For next month.
Yeah, that sounds good. And it looks like we went pretty quickly, so it only took about a half hour to go through it. So we'll set up another one for next month, and we'll go over maybe job listings and member-to-member deals where they have to be logged in to see the deal, and it's only for chamber members, which I've actually gotten a client that way. So, so yeah.
Sounds good. And then this will be, see how it over to the right format, but we're going to post it on our page, and we're going to send it out to all of our members. And then,
yeah.
And I think it'll be part of actually today's newsletter as well.
Yeah, you're kind of hard to hear, John, but I get what you're saying.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Steve.
Awesome. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Thank you all for listening.
Everybody that came,
Good day. All right, bye.
Bye.